Good morning, Steph. And starting with this horrible news, another devastating discovery, hundreds of unmarked graves at a former residential school in Saskatchewan. Now, the finding was made at Merivale Indian Residential School in southeast Saskatchewan. Members of the Cowessess First Nation will be addressing the discovery today at a virtual news conference that is happening at 11 a.m. Toronto time. They say the mass grave is believed to be the most significantly substantial to date in Canada. It comes just weeks after the remains of 215 children were uncovered at a residential school in Canada. Chief of the Assembly of First Nations saying in a tweet late last night that the founding at Cowessess is absolutely tragic, but not surprising, urging Canadians to stand with First Nations in this extremely difficult and emotional time. And with that, we understand, of course, this news is distressing to many people. So if you do need support or assistance, this number here, the Indian Residential School Survivors Society toll-free number, 1-800-721-0066, also a 24-hour crisis line, and you can see this number here. This will be up on our website as well. Now, coming up at 9 this morning, we will be speaking to a Ryerson professor about this latest discovery. And right now, we are following some breaking news out of Miami, where emergency crews are responding to a partial building collapse at a condo. So let's bring you to a live look at the scene right now. This is in the Surfside area, a town in Miami-Dade County. The call coming in around 2:30 this morning. Details are limited at this point, including what caused this partial collapse or if anyone right now is injured or trapped inside. It's difficult to see from this shot here, but video from news stations in Florida have shown at least one boy pulled from the rubble. So here is that video. And the man you'll hear in a moment explaining what he heard early this morning.
I was in Bay Harbor, heard a couple bumpy explosions, basically. I mean, I'm from New York, so like when they bombed the Chelsea bomber, bombed the windows of that gym, it felt the same. It like rumbled a little bit, and it was like big bass.
All right, and the local fire rescue team saying over 80 units have been dispatched. It's a 12-story condo building. It is unclear, again, how many people may be trapped or injured, and we are going to continue to follow this developing story throughout the morning. Back here at home now, Ontario is expected to enter stage 2 of its reopening plan in less than a week.
It's just a matter of days, and Minister Elliott, again, is going to be discussing this with Dr. Williams, and they'll be coming out with an announcement very shortly.
Sources say the province will be moving into step 2 on June 30th, 2 days earlier than expected. So as of Wednesday, outdoor gatherings to increase to 25 people, while indoor gatherings will be allowed up to 5 people. Limits for non-essential retail stores and patios will expand. And then barbershops and salons will finally open with restrictions for the first time in 7 months. Now, we're standing by live right now outside Queen's Park, where Ford and his ministers are expected to make the announcement sometime today. Again, as soon as we have that information, we'll let you know. Yesterday, the province announcing 255 new cases. That is the lowest new infection number that we've seen since September 13th. Over 76% of Ontarians have received their first dose. Over 27% are now fully vaccinated. By the way, for step 3, the requirement is 70 to 80% with 1 dose and 25% fully vaccinated. So we have hit that threshold already. Lots to discuss. All right, and we are still hearing some more stories of Moderna hesitancy popping up across Ontario. Peel's top doctor urging residents not to wait to get the preferred mRNA shot.
Some residents with those 2 appointments booked for this week have actually refused Moderna and its production and walked away. That's the equivalent of saying that you won't fly with an airline because it's not your preferred airline that has seats off in an island that is sinking. You'd rather wait for the next available seat on your preferred airline, which could be weeks away. So I cannot say this clearly enough. Please take whatever you are offered.
Dr. Lowe goes on to say that vaccination rates are holding steady, but people walking away from Moderna second dose appointments is impacting reopening plans. Lowe continues to stress both mRNA shots are effective, Pfizer and Moderna, and it comes as, again, those new case counts looking very low. Meanwhile, the hype is growing for what's being dubbed Vaccine Day in Toronto. 25,000 people have registered to get a dose of a COVID-19 vaccine at Scotiabank Arena on Sunday. And organizers say that will set a new Canadian record for the most vaccines given out in one spot in a single day. As some incentive, transit agencies are also on board. The TTC, Go Transit, and Up Express offering free rides into Union Station to anyone who has proof of a vaccine appointment. So make sure you stay tuned. We have a lot to discuss with Mayor John Tory. He will be joining us for his weekly check-in, and that is coming in just after 7 o'clock. Now, coming up next, it's one of the biggest online shopping events in the world, and Canadians missed out on it. We're going to bring you those details with Mike Eppel. He's back